We have the new Minister of Energy and Natural Resources coming out here saying that Canada will become an energy superpower, and it actually looks like we're going to be waiting a long time.
I want to be very clear. In the new economy we are building, Canada will no longer be defined by delay. We will be defined by delivery. I'm going to say that again. In the new economy we are building, Canada will no longer be defined by delay. We will be defined by delivery.
Still waiting for that delivery.
So what does that mean? It begins with a vision to build Canada into a conventional and clean energy and natural resources superpower. We have the resources. We have the people. We have the ideas. And we now have a government determined to lead and help unlock the potential of Canadian workers and businesses. We are taking major steps to back that vision with action. First, we will identify and fast-track projects of national interest. These are the projects that matter to our economy, our environment, and our sovereignty. No more 5-year reviews. Decisions will come in 2 years for all projects.
Wow, 2 years, huh? Right now, as we currently speak, the United States is getting things done within months, sometimes even weeks, depending on what it is. And our new Minister of Energy and Natural Resources is promising 2 years. That's half of the current term. I remember just days before the election, Pierre ran on specifically this.
So here's the plan, my friends. We can't wait for change. So I've announced that we're going to have 100 days of change. We are going to pass 3 major bills in the first 100 days. Here's what they are. There's the Affordability for a Change Act, which will cut taxes, bureaucracy, and spending. There is the Safety for a Change Act, which will crack down on crime and drugs. And there's the Bring It Home Our Jobs for a Change Act, which will repeal the anti-energy laws and cut taxes on investment. We want all of these things passed within 100 days.
100 days. And by the way, that is what an actual plan sounds like. Something that the Liberals don't have, still. In other news, Conservative candidate Jonathan Rowe has officially flipped the riding of Terra Nova, the Peninsula's winning by 12 votes after a recount. This, I believe, drops the Liberals down to 169 seats total. This election has been an absolute nightmare, and the fact that they are still counting ridings and they are flipping back and forth, what a joke. We also have Melanie Joly after a auto industry meeting, and it looks like there has been zero progress made there as well.
So my first question is to follow up on the Stellantis announcement. I'm curious if you've received any assurances from LG on their joint venture with Stellantis and Windsor, and how that will be affected by the news of the delays today.
So I haven't spoken to LG yet. This will definitely be something I will be doing in the coming hours and days, because obviously it is an important investment in Canada. At the same time, I think that the information I got from Stellantis is reassuring, but I'm a very pragmatic person and I'm not naive. So we need to continue to fight for these jobs. And the auto sector is under huge pressure because of the US tariffs. So we will continue to get to a good deal with the Americans when it comes to trade and security. We will continue to invest in the future of the auto sector. And meanwhile, we know that Canada will be investing more than ever in defense. And these investments from the Canadian government must enable jobs in Canada. And I'm convinced that we have fantastic Canadian workers that are willing to put to be elbows up.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I understand how important this is to our country and to our economy and for our workers, but I'll get to it in the next, I don't know, couple days or whatever, something like that.
And built for our men and women serving in Canada and abroad. And so this is an opportunity that we haven't seen since the Second World War to build in Canada and to help sectors that are affected by the the tariffs. And so that's also why I was in GM in Oshawa, at GM in Oshawa, and that's also why I'm having conversations with many CEOs, as the Minister of Defense is also working on the biggest reinvestments to get to 2% and even more.
So to follow up on that,
Yep.
We've seen some Canadian companies like Lion Electric, Li-Cycle, that are in the electric vehicle supply chain facing bankruptcy. So do you have any thoughts in your new role as to how resources should be split between these multinational automakers and Canadian companies?
Well, we need to be able to address what's the consequences of President Trump not going ahead with the IRA. And that's having an impact definitely on decision makers in the US. But meanwhile, we need to make sure that we provide certainty in Canada. And I think that we can work a lot with countries such as countries in the EU, such as Germany, and at the same time, countries such as Japan and Korea.
So there's no certainty at all. Everybody wants to leave. Jobs are funneling over to the United States, and all she has for us is elbows up and we're investing more in defense. This is what I'm talking about when I say half of the cabinet is from the Trudeau era, and a vast majority of them still remain in caucus. The incompetency for 10 years didn't just go away. It just didn't just vanish. It's still here in full display.
And so we want to make sure that we're useful, that while there is a pause, that we continue to have the right investments in these sectors, because ultimately we want to be there when consumers are ready to adopt these technologies and buy these new cars. And my message to Canadians right now is, please do the right thing and try to buy a Canadian-made car. When we go to the grocery store, we try to not buy American because we know it's the best way to put pressure and to help workers that are affected by the tariffs. Well, it's the same when it comes to buying a car.
Oh, is it really now? Let's see. Ford, American company. GMC, American company. Chevrolet, American company. Yes, the parts are built here, but at the end of the day, it's an American company. So what, are we just not going to buy cars anymore? I have no idea what she's trying to get at, and I don't think she does either. I want to know what you think down in the comments section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you are new, and thank you very much for watching.